I'm super excited to spend these next 3 days with you and to accelerate your soul business and also mine. And I will tell you all about that in this hour, tomorrow, same time, another hour, and on Thursday as well. Please, everybody, put into the chat where you are joining from. So we have Mexico, Ecuador, Germany, Egypt. Wonderful. That is hi, Kat in the USA. This is truly an international group, and I'm super happy to have all of you here. We will be spending 1 hour together today, and this hour is going to be your time to think, to make notes, and to really participate. This is not like a Netflix movie. I want you to actually participate. So take out your pen, take out your paper, and scribble some notes. I will ask you to reflect on things, to write down some ideas, because we want this to be as practical as possible today, okay? Not just a class that you listen to while you're cooking. Please leave that for later. And then we can really dive in and really get the most out of this class. Excuse me that I have something in my throat. Okay. So there's a lot of people who already know me, and there's also some new people. So yes, if you have to leave early, no problem. I will put the recording into our WhatsApp chat, and you can always catch up there. So I would like to present myself just quickly. My name is Christina Mars, and I teach healing with horses, specifically horse-guided empowerment. That is my modality, that is my method, and I teach that all over the world. And there's a lot of people here who have already gone through this course. Hi, Enrica. Hi, Kati, Ali, Peter. So awesome that you're here, because this is a great way for you to now do the next step and accelerate your business. And for those of you who are not part of the course yet, who are not certified yet, I'm happy to answer your questions after the program. So if you have any comments, any questions about that program, please stay on. We'll do a little Q&A at the end. So I teach healing with horses because I have made that experience myself. The horses really helped me to heal and to find my voice and to find my calmness at a very young age. I grew up in a home that was extremely complicated. There was a lot of anxiety, there was depression, and nobody seemed to care, and nobody seemed to think that healing or changing was actually possible. So I felt very alone and very stressed in this environment. But my neighbor had horses, and they were roaming around on a big pasture right in front of our window. And at that place, hanging out with the horses, I spent entire days there, just sitting with the horses, observing them, petting them. And that became my safe place. That became my calmness, my strength. And a lot of these horses were a little troubled. They came from the racetracks. They came from not ideal environments. And I started to help these horses, to work with these horses, to help them overcome their anxiety and their stress. And I saw that it was actually possible. And that was the spark of everything that I'm doing today. Because there I saw, if this is possible for horses, with the right attention, with the right practice to overcome their anxiety, it should be possible for us, right? So I started to investigate, I started to learn, I studied psychology, then I lost track of the horses, then I moved to Ecuador, and then I put it into practice. So I started to help others with horses. That was the first part of my soul business. I did something that I had experienced myself and that I completely, wholeheartedly believed in. It is my passion to be around horses. So I turned that into a job. and I helped others. And that went well. And I had clients, and I had a couple of rescued horses here in Ecuador. And then I came to a crossing point. So do I only want to do this myself? Then I have a very limited capacity of helping others. Or do I maybe want to teach it because I want to work in a team? I want to multiply the effect and give others the chance to work in this as well. So that was a turning point where I turned my facilitator business into a teaching business. In the beginning, I didn't know where it would go. I thought I would just lead one course and have a group and have a team. And then it grew. And now I'm leading the 25th group. I have students all over the world in 26 countries. And it gradually went there. So there is a second part in this that we will be talking about your soul business. It is not static. It has to evolve as you evolve, because what you thought was great 5 years ago is too small right now. It is evolving. Okay, but we'll come back to these key points. Okay, so I was teaching the first course, the second course, the third course. I made some decisions. I wanted to be independent from the tiny little Ecuadorian village that I was working at. Those who are here know it. São Paulo has about 50 souls. So I thought, it's a little limiting. So let's teach all over Ecuador. And I found other places, and I traveled, and I did my course in several other places in Ecuador. And then there came a next tipping point. And I said, well, why only Ecuador? I could do it in Germany. I could do it in Chile. So I did. And that went well. And then COVID came. So I had a business with, yes, Carmen is like, yeah, I know. Because I was supposed to give a course in Chile, and then COVID crossed that off. So I had a business. I was teaching in different countries. I had retreats planned, and then COVID said, nope, all of that is going to be canceled. And you are just sitting at home and waiting until this is over. So I had to adapt, again, not because of my own growth at this point, but because of the environment requirements that I was faced with. So when you have a soul business, other business as well, but with a soul business, when you're facing challenges, you need to go inside of you and find out what you can do to adapt it to the changed circumstances. So in my case, what I did was I learned heart math because I thought this is a great modality that I can deliver over Zoom. I don't have to bring people to work with my own horses. Then I developed a curriculum to teach online. I included heart math, and that's when it really grew in an exponential way that I had never anticipated before. So in the soul business, when you listen to your heart and to your soul, amazing things are going to happen. And that is a little different from other businesses where you are only looking at numbers, where you're only looking at research, at marketing research, because the soul business is based on your own values and what you love to do. So we'll put that in a little note and then come back to it later. So today I'm at another turning point. I made 6 figures last year. Yay. That was a big goal. And I built my house, my farm. I have my horses right in front of me. Outside my window, I fulfilled a lifelong dream, like really lifelong. I made that when I was, 8 or 7. And now I completed it at 45. And I could stay here. I could teach small courses, be here, be happy on my farm, sit on my mountain, look at my horses. And 6 figures is a really nice income here in Ecuador. So that's it. But a soul business is based on your own values. It's driven by passion. And there is very likely going to be another shift that you want to do once you have reached your goal. because then you want to grow it again, and you want to have more people benefit from what you're already doing. You saw that it is possible, so then something else might be possible. That's how it goes for me. And if you are doing something that you genuinely love, I guess it goes in the same or similar way for you as well. So that is a key point. It's not over ever. It's bad news. I don't know. Maybe it's bad news. I don't know. Is it bad news? What do you think? It's never over. You'll always grow. You'll always learn. You'll always do something new. And you will always adapt to your circumstances and to your personality. Okay, Kim says, yay. You like that idea? Others are maybe like, not so much. Yes, okay, all right, we all love it. That's great. Okay, so in order to do this shift, and I told you that story because I want you to connect to what I'm saying on any level that you're at. So if you are starting and you're not even sure that you have found your soul business, we will do a couple of activities where you can be sure, or you need to do something and shift something. Whether you are trying to scale to a livable income or to a big income, or scaling on a global scale. That was not very smart to say, scaling on a global scale. Scaling on a global level. That's it. It doesn't matter, because what we're going to do is something that you'll have to repeat over and over again as you grow and as you change. Okay, so for me, I have studied a lot. I have learned a lot. I love Mindvalley for the studying part. They have a lot of courses and a lot of insight that's really valuable in the subject of course creation, of business scaling, of your own mindset. And I will use some of the things that I've learned in Mindvalley and some of the things that I've learned somewhere else. I'm trying to record this here on my phone, but it's tipping all the time. Okay, so in Mindvalley, Vishen Lakiani teaches us that when we learn something, when we grow into a new position or into a shift, there is 6 shifts that we are going through. Okay, 6. And we will split it into 2 and 2 and 2. 2 today, 2 tomorrow, and 2 on the last day. So the first one that we're going to do today is mindset and habits. You all know that mindset is super important when you are growing or scaling or accelerating your business. And we will talk about that briefly, and I will give you an activity, an exercise that you can do to really take care of this mindset, because this hour is not enough, right? Like, not enough. We'd have to spend the entire day, the entire week together to really change that mindset of yours. The habit part is tricky. Habits cannot be created in 1 hour, but I will also give you a practical exercise that you can do and that you should do and repeat for a longer time in order to accelerate that business. Tomorrow, we will talk about lifestyle and how you're going to show up. We will talk about what do your clients really need. Once you know what is holding you back, then what do your clients really need so that you can accelerate and grow. And then on the last day, we will talk about the toolbox and about your superpower. So what can you add into your toolbox to accelerate what you're doing? And I didn't come up with this, Vishen Lakiani did, and he has a little experience in scaling different businesses. So we'll just believe what he says, and it has definitely worked for me. Okay, so I promised you that we will talk about the number 1 mistake that we make, us, soul business owners, other business owners sometimes as well, but for us, it's especially hard to overcome it. And this number 1 mistake, I've already revealed it on Instagram. Who knows what it is? Let's put it in the chat. What is it? Who knows? Oh, it's not putting your location on social media. Good one. We have talked about that a while ago. Not saying where you're based. Yes, 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 a little bit. Yes, we've talked about that. That's true. But there is something else. There is something else. My phone is not. Okay. All right. Inconsistency. Analysis paralysis. That's a good one, Penny. That's amazing. I love that. It's all related to the number one mistake that I've learned we are doing. And it's especially hard for soul business owners because our business is based on something that we love doing. And we want to share it with everybody. And we want to help everybody. Yes, Maris, here we are. Here we go. We want to share it with everybody. We want to offer it to everybody. And we have a panic sitting in the back of our head that says, we need to catch every client that you can. You cannot turn anybody away. And that is the biggest mistake that you can make. If you want to scale or create a profitable business that you bring out there, you need to know who you are serving. It does not work to serve everybody for several reasons. If you have a program that fits for a certain niche, and then somebody says, you know, can you also do this? And you write another program, and then you write another program, and then you write another program. And you spend so much time in writing programs and in writing new offers that you don't actually get to do the work. Also, if you start your Instagram, social media, advertising, whatever you're doing to attract new clients, you cannot talk to everybody. You need to decide, who do you want to talk to? Is it people in your local area? Is it people who struggle with, most of us are healers or coaches, people who struggle with business, people who struggle with anxiety? Are they young? Are they old? Are they men? Are they women? If you make an ad for women, it will most likely not attract men. If you make an ad for men, it doesn't attract women. So you need to be clear who you want to serve. And we'll get back to this in a little bit because there is a very simple fix to that. And it will actually define your soul business so much better. Also, in this mistake of serving everybody is the knowledge. Some of you who are coaches or business people, I know Peter here from Germany probably knows this, is the teaching of the red ocean versus the blue ocean. Who has heard about that? Raise your thumbs. Red ocean versus blue ocean? Yes? No? It's not something that I developed. It was developed by two best-selling business authors. And I'm just borrowing their knowledge, but they're happy with it because they also are sharing it openly on social media and on their website. You can Google it. Blue Ocean Strategy, I think, is the website, and they have a lot of teaching, a lot of insight in there. So, what is this about? Imagine that there's an ocean with fish in it, right? There's small fish, there's big fish, and there is boats who are trying to catch these fish. The fish are the clients, the boats are the businesses, the service providers, the entrepreneurs. So in this red ocean, there is a lot of boats, and a lot of boats are trying to catch the same fish. And then there is also sharks. That's why it's called the red ocean, because there's sharks and they are aggressive. And there is a bloodbath in these clients. And it's really hard to get a quiet fish to swim into your net because everything is chaos and everything is overcrowded. And that is a very difficult place for you to be. You want to be in the blue ocean where there is less fish, there's no sharks, and there is just you offering your services your specific services to the few fish who are in there. Not all the fish are in the blue ocean, just some. But we will attract those who want to be exactly in your blue ocean. If you want to offer your services to everybody, like everybody has anxiety, I will offer it to everybody. You compete with everybody who is in the red ocean. There is going to be psychologists, coaches, small courses, big courses, antidepressants, medical services, alternative healing services, all of it together trying to catch those poor fishes in the red ocean. Now, if you say, I only serve people who are interested in yoga and Reiki and crystals healing, and I offer healing with horses outside in the countryside, and you have to travel there, and you have to live in my environment, and you have to like nature, and you have to not be on antidepressants, you are creating a blue ocean where there's just going to be a couple of fish, and you can directly talk to them, and you can directly serve them. There is no sharks that are bothering you. If you want to succeed in the red ocean with a lot of competition and talking to everybody, you can do that. But you need a massive advertising budget. Massive, because you need to be so loud that you shy the sharks away and that you are just above everybody else. Usually there's also competition in price in the red ocean. So for example, Walmart is a perfect red ocean strategist, okay? They serve everybody and they sell everything, yeah? And they're huge and it worked for them, but they are competing on the price level. If you are alone, if you are offering your services, and then even with horses maybe, and you need to provide for that herd and you need to, run everything on your own, talking to thousands of customers and funneling out those who want to buy and offering dozens of services will burn you out. It's not possible. So focus on something that you can actually deliver to the right person. And you can use a little bit of marketing budget for that. But if you know exactly what you offer and who you offer it to, you limit it, and it's much easier to reach the person you want to reach. So how does that connect to my story? In the beginning, I wanted to offer my course to just a few people who were in my area because I wanted to have a team. And I found people here in Ecuador who would work with me in a team. And then it grew, and I could only have people who were close to me in Ecuador because they had to travel to my place and I had to attend to them personally. Then came COVID, and I decided to scale it, to offer the course to other people who were willing to learn online. I needed to scale up in a virtual classroom, in better email communication, in materials that could be sent, etc. But then I was focusing not on, there's a lot of people who want to learn about healing with horses on site, right? They're like, no, this whole online business, that's not my thing. I want to go somewhere and I want to touch the horse and I want to do it. I'm like, fine, there is people who offer that. I do not anymore. I offer it online for these and these reasons. You will practice with your own horses. That's awesome. That has been proven. And that's what I do. I focus on that because I had to invest in being able to do this. If I let myself be dragged around, now go here, now go there, I cannot focus on what I'm actually selling. It's not possible. I'm not big enough. And I was focusing on small courses. Now I'm changing that a little bit. For that, I needed a mentor structure, etc., and different payment modalities, etc. And now I'm targeting other people who need something else. I'm targeting people in different time zones, for example. But if I try to have everybody be interested in my course, I will spend so much time talking to everybody then I can't actually find out those who want to work with me. Now, there is a second secret in this. If you are selling what you are passionate about, how is the best way to sell that? How can you deliver this? How can you show up? We're still in the mindset part, not in the show up part, but how can you show up and sell what you are passionate about? What do you have to do? Very unpleasant for most of you. Not all of you. Yes, Kat, exactly. You have to tell your story. You have to show up as who you are, and you have to show up. So there's a lot of you here that I know who are doing social media, for example, or offering their stuff, and they do not ever show their face on social media. If you want to attract people who want to work with you based on your values and on your passion, you need to communicate that passion. How would they know that you are not one of the sharky psychologists who only wants to sell you drugs? Right? There's a lot of them out there. How would they know? You have to show up. You have to teach about your values. You have to share them. So I share pictures about my horses in the herd and in the pasture, and sometimes I share that, you know, they are struggling or they have been injured. So somebody who wants to have horses in a, you know, padded environment that are not allowed to go outside and they're always looking shiny, they are not my ideal clients. If they don't like what I show, they will not buy what I show. And if they don't know what you are all about, they might buy your service, but they're not happy with it. So let's get rid of that from the beginning. Only if you show up with what you are and what you are about, you can attract the right people. So I said we're going to do this in a practical way. So let's do it in a practical way. First of all, there's a possibility that you find out with these exercises that you are not in your soul business area yet. And I have a workbook that I'll share in the WhatsApp group where you can do some more things to get there and to develop it in a more detailed way, but that's going to take too long for everybody here. So first of all, from where you are right now, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be? A lot of people will be like, oh, I don't know, wherever, right? No. Look back 5 years. 5 years ago, it was 2018. Where were you in 2018? What happened in 2018 for you? And from there to now, you see how much shift you can do in 5 years. You can also find out this is not enough. I want to really accelerate. I want to push it. I need more shift in the next 5 years. And then dream big. Where do you want to be? Write it down. At least one thing. Better 2 or 3. What do you want to happen within the next 5 years? Do you want to make 6 figures? Do you want to make $1 million? Do you want to have your own farm? Do you want to be able to quit your job? Do you want to have kids and horses? Yes, travel around the world. Very good. Where do you want to travel? Do you want to travel full time? Or do you want to have money for 2 or 3 awesome trips? Okay, Penny says, travel around the world and have horses. Well, I do. So yes, have an online business. Maybe you can have horses with somebody else. So you will need somebody to take care of your horses, and you can put that into your list. Be as specific as you can be, because that will determine the direction where you want to go. So if you want to take it a step further, you can also think about 10 years or even more. In Dubai, I learned that there's people who do 50-year visions, right? And it's actually pretty cool. And I have a 50-year vision. And that influences my 5-year vision. So right now, for example, I want to have, yes, healing retreats, very good. Farmhouse, me too. For example, I want to enjoy my house and look at my horses. So I don't want to travel a lot. But I'm also not happy with just sitting here and being here and kind of retire. I want more. So I have a big vision where I want to bring what I'm doing into more countries, into more places. I've created a social therapy center here in my town, and it works really well. And it's a good model that could be implemented in other places, where a foundation sponsors a lot of our sessions. That works really well. I want more horses to be treated in the horse guided empowerment way. I want more horse owners to know about this. So if I want to bring this to more people, I have to focus on international business. I have to make a significant amount of money for bigger marketing budgets, because I am scaling up. My blue ocean is getting bigger, so I have to like be fish. Where are you in Egypt? Where are you in Mexico? It's not only Ecuador, where people already know me. So it determines what I'm going to do. Okay, so where you want to be in 5 years, we're going to call that your mission. It's probably not your perfect mission yet, okay? But you can develop it. So what we want is a mission. What is your mission for the next 5 years or even longer? If you don't have that, you cannot do the next step. Okay? So write it down, maybe make a note, question mark or something, so that you can go back to it. And yeah, you should write it. Well, you can write, some notes, and then you should go back to it and maybe in the afternoon develop it a little further. And I'd love for you to share one of your goals for the 5 years, or one of your mission in the on the Instagram account. Go to my account, Mars Method, and share what you have developed. Because if you share it, it becomes more important to you. If you share it, you start believing it. And if you share it, you also inspire others. So if you go there and read what others write, you might be inspired and you might be motivated. Let's use that for all of us. Yes, my Instagram account is Mars Method. It's in my name thing, Mars Method. Thank you, Ali. Okay, so once we have our mission, we want to know who is our niche and who is our ideal client. So if you look back to who you were 5 years ago and who you are now, is that something that you would like others to achieve as well? If you think about the perfect person who buys your service, somebody you're like, yay, thank you for reaching out to me. I love working with you. It's so rewarding. It feels like we connect. You totally get what I'm saying. Who is that person? Describe them. What are they all about? Yes, Penny, it would be me, exactly. Very, very often, it's a younger, previous you. So right now, for example, my ideal student is somebody who already has horses, has rescued horses, is having some small coaching therapy business, wants to serve some service with their horses, wants to integrate their horses into their life, and wants to do that maybe on a social level, or maybe with local companies, but create an income together with the horses. That is me 6-7 years ago. So I understand these people. I know what they dream. I know what they want. I know what they're lacking, because I was there. It's so easy to talk to them, and I connect to them on a really deep level. So very often when my marketing goes well and I have the discovery calls with somebody, I'm like, you feel like a lifelong friend. I know you. We're talking and we get each other and we like each other. And I'm happy to have them as students. I'm like, yay, I'll do everything to help you because I truly believe in you. I truly want to work with you. When I have somebody who's like, yeah, but I really would prefer it to do another way. I want to work with big companies and I don't have horses and I'm not interested in natural horsemanship because I'm an Olympic jumper and I'm, think about stuff in a different way. I can teach them too, but it's more difficult for me to connect to them. So if you can find your ideal client and target your service to them, it doesn't mean that you only serve these. You will also attract people who want to change, who want to have new ideas. And very often, thanks, Bettina. I don't know if you're Bettina. It's Bettina's iPhone. Thank you. I'm glad that is helping. So if you describe your ideal client and you're like, wow, that's me a couple of years ago, that's perfect. It's awesome. And then if you connect that to your mission, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? That's where you're going. That's your mission. That's the goal of your service. So you see that it is developing. In 5 years, you might be doing something for somebody who's at the stage where you are right now. And that's how you scale. And that's how you accelerate. You do something for a while, and then you change and you shift, and then you go into other areas. And you add other areas. Okay, Kim. Yes, working with autistic kids from your church. Great if you like that. If you are drawn to them, if you understand them, if you are feeling that you can contribute something and it fills your heart, it's a perfect niche. It's an awesome niche. It doesn't have to be the younger you. But if you are, gosh, so hard, so difficult to work with them, I just do it because they are the only ones who are here. You're focusing and growing something that you do not want to grow. And that has happened to me as well. I had only clients with autism for a while, and it was not my perfect niche. It just happened because I was successful with them, and then more came, and I had to learn to say no. So this is like, the number one enemy of a starting soul business. Somebody comes and you're like, sorry, no, I will not work with you. I will refer you to a colleague of mine, or I cannot work with you right now because I'm focusing on something else. That feels so wrong, doesn't it? It's like, oh my God, there is a customer, and of course I have to shift my service around and give them something else that I don't usually do, but he's gonna pay me. So why would I say no? I'm not crazy. If you say no, it will open the door and it will open the canvas for somebody who is your ideal client. Because if you serve somebody and you do a good job, and we just assume that all of us are doing a good job, there will be more of them. If you do a great job with an autistic child, their mother will tell somebody else and you will have more. If you do not want to work with autistic children or kids or men or business people or whoever it is, say no. Okay. Do you think you can do that? So hard. Yes, so hard. Super hard. Very hard. And this is our mindset shift. You have a vision where you want to go. And this vision will determine your ideal client. And your ideal client will determine what exactly you're offering in services to get to your vision. to your big vision, to your big goal in 5 years. Now you can turn around on the spot and do something else, hoping that sometime in the future, something magically will happen and you will start offering your ideal services. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So there will be dry seasons when you're waiting for your ideal client or polishing your services and you're not really communicating it right. But stick to it, because that is your bigger vision. You have to know where you are going to. So get rid of this number one mistake. I have to serve everybody. I have to take every client on earth. I have to adapt my services. No, and you don't have to adapt to what Instagram says you should be like. It's not possible. If you want to show up as who you are and attract people who like you, you need to be you. There's nobody else who can do you better than you. And that's so difficult. Sometimes we don't even know who we are, right? So like, who is this persona who's showing up in classes? And like, is that me? Is it or not? If it's not you, it's not gonna work. So there's people like, not anymore, but you know, that phase when everybody was dancing on Instagram and the TikTok stuff, like, you know, and doing these coordinated dances with their partners. I'm like, shoot, how do I do this? I can't. It's not me. I do not do this. I don't. And I don't share inspirational phrases because I can kill myself over finding an inspirational phrase. I find 50,000 and I don't know what to post, and it's not going to work. But it's easy for me to talk about the topics that I'm interested in, you know, in short parts. Now I'm recording in the car because it's such a nice, guarded, safe environment. It's awesome. So you need to find your voice, and then people will reach out to you and you'll be like, oh God, I'm so happy to have you. You feel like a lifelong lost friend. And that is the best client you could ever have. So amazing. And then they will talk to their friends, and then you will get more of those. Okay, Mariana says, how do you find your voice? Yeah, how do we do that? We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, right? So when you go into lifestyle and how you show up and how you can, you know, find this persona, this service persona that you are. Yeah. Okay. Salome has a soulmate client. That's great. Soulmate client is such a beautiful word. I love that. Soulmate client. Okay. So it's you have the age, wonderful, what she struggles with, what the problems is, what she loves. Great. And is that you, Salome? Is that you, or is that you a couple of years ago?
Yes, when I was 15 to my 20s, I have these problems. Now I'm free for all things.
Yeah. So the benefit of the soulmate client being you is that you understand how they feel, right? So if I'm talking to somebody who has horses, I know that they need to feed them, that they are concerned about their health, that they are dividing themselves between, I don't know, kids, business, horses, farm, all these things. It's easier to teach them than somebody who is on a different planet, right? Doesn't mean that I don't serve them, but my course, my speech, my persona is directed to somebody who is like me. And that's why I'm doing this challenge, because I know that I've struggled with this, and I would have wanted somebody who understands, you know, our environment and doesn't say something like, you have to invest $500 per month into Facebook ads and then it will come, because it's not true for me, not true for my service at all. You have to dance on Instagram. No, I don't want 50,000 followers. I have 3,000 and they like what I'm doing and they do buy my services and they comment and they are connected to what I do. If I had 50,000 who love my funny little dance videos, they are not, like, why would I have them? Doesn't make any sense. Then I have to answer 50,000 comments about, you're so cute. Like, yeah, thanks, awesome. Doesn't serve me, right? So find out what you want to show, what you want to attract. Okay, this is interesting. Enrica, choosing wonderful experts in the field and put them together for courses, retreats. Nice. And you're, well, for example, if you want to do this, Enrica, you have chosen a very good spot, right? Because Enrica just moved to Costa Rica. And it's a great place for retreats. It's a great place to inspire people, to bring in other experts. We love to travel to Costa Rica, right? And it's an easy place for people to, you know, to go to retreats and to get this kind of inspiration. Okay, expensive though, yeah. Well, then what do you need to create in a service? It cannot be like a camping retreat, right? Probably. Or it cannot be a day retreat because it's limited on, you know, where you are. You have to attract people who can actually pay for this. So it's not, you're not going to target, I don't know, college dropouts who want to do a camping retreat. It's not going to serve you. Whereas in Ecuador, for example, that would be a very good niche because Ecuador is cheap and it's a place for backpackers. And we have a lot of college students and could be a good niche here. Okay, bye Kat, see you tomorrow. Okay, so when you look at your notes of number 1 and number 2, where do you want to be in 5 years? What is your ideal client? Is that something that you are genuinely, completely in love with? Do you read that and are you like, wow, if that would happen, it would be perfect. Awesome. Yes, Ali? Yes? Okay, who else do we have here? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, if you don't, okay, I'll say it again. So if you look at what you wrote down in number 1 and number 2, where do you want to be in 5 years? And who is your ideal client? So you imagine I'm serving these people and that's where I'm going to be in 5 years. That determines my services and everything. Are you super excited about this? Yes. Okay. So some say yes. Some say, I don't know, maybe not. If you're not sure, you should go through, I'll send this workbook to the WhatsApp group. And it's about intuitive competence. That's a term that I love. And it's about connecting to your passion. So there's a couple of pages where you write in, what am I super excited about? What do I love doing? How could that benefit others, etc. So it takes you through these exercises so that you can shape your soul business and get there. It's a beautiful path. It's not easy, but it's a beautiful path. So I'm completely excited about what I'm going to do in 5 years. I want all of you to do this too. Thank you, Penny. And I didn't even dance, right? Okay. So there's a couple of people here who, you know, for example, Enrica and Ali, who I can see here on my screen, some of the first videos here. You guys have gone through my course and you have created this soul business. And you have been working in similar areas before, but through this course and through the last couple of years, you have shaped it towards this idea. And you have integrated what you knew before. Ali, for example, does youth coaching and has done that before and now combines it with the horses and now is offering retreats for youth to come and work with the horses and the communities. So it's like completely you. And Enrica, yoga teacher, in Costa Rica, you add the horses, you got your own horse. So now you're combining all of this into a new offer. Very you. Yeah. It is possible. What would you say, Enrica and Ali? What would you say is your biggest struggle on this path? So you know where you want to be, and you're working towards that. What is the biggest, once you know it, what is the biggest struggle?
I think my biggest struggle, hi everyone.
Hi.
My biggest struggle is with putting it out there and marketing that. Like I feel like I had a whole process of getting to defining that once I defined it, I was like, okay, enough. Like that was already a big process. And so I think for me, the biggest challenge is now that I have everything that I was looking for with clarity, with the niche, with my clients, it's how do I package that and kind of pull the trigger with going forward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so that is probably going into the toolbox part, right? So how can I package it, and what do my clients really need? We'll talk about that tomorrow. That's a big one. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea when I learned that. So tomorrow we'll talk about this. Please come. And there's also going to be a recording. Enrica, what would you say? What is your
Hello everybody. My struggle was like in this merging the things was confidence 100%, and I worked on it. I took a course in public speaking, and it really helped. So now that you're saying yes, you have to put yourself out there, it's not as terrifying. I still don't do it properly, but it's not as terrifying as before. And the struggle that I see from here on is this niche thing. I'm really I really want to have everybody. So I feel the FOMO of leaving someone out. But I understand what you're saying, that it's like more efficient.
Yeah, probably. Well, there's a question, Salome. Possible to create a blue ocean or new niche with all your passions? Like you have several.
I have so many, Salome.
Yeah, yes.
The problem. I'm like, how do I put them together?
Okay, so I honestly believe that is what the soul business is about. So, you know, when I think back to when people ask me, what do you want to be in life? I didn't dare saying it because it didn't exist. And now when I look back, now my kids I have teenagers, 3 teenage boys. Yay. When people ask them, what do you want to be in life? I always encourage them to say stuff that doesn't yet exist, because first of all, we don't know what is going to exist in the next couple of years. Now with ChatGPT taking all our work away of writing. And what I have done, what I work in is I combine psychology, positive psychology, not all of psychology, positive psychology, nature, and my passion of horses, and teaching. And that does not exist as a job description, but I fused it together. And then even like rescue horses and herds and stuff. So I did that, right? My oldest son had a brilliant idea about a job a couple of years ago. We were in Italy, and we looked at the ruins of Pompeii, and she said, wouldn't it be amazing to have like a virtual reality where you can walk through these places and explore them as they were? I like computer programming, and I like computer games, and I like architecture, and I like old history. Why don't I create virtual realities of ancient cultures in architectural ways? I'm like, yes, you are my son. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. So I think, yes, you can combine it. And even if it's super weird, like, I don't know, holistic crystal healing and accounting, or, something that completely opposite, why not? Why not? And I'll give you a very cool example tomorrow of somebody who did something like that. including accounting. It is possible. It's totally possible. So don't let yourself be held back. I think the main barrier that we have is fear-based. Like, what if it doesn't work? What if nobody else shows up? I have this fear recurring. This is going to be the last client who ever reaches out to me, the last student. Why? Hasn't happened in the last years, but that's always like, oh God, it's going to be the last one. I don't hold on to them. It's not true. So from this place of fear, it's really hard to sell your passion, especially when you talk about healing and helping others. You need to be confident, right? It's like, and you're all like, yeah, sure, cool. How do I do that? Okay, horses are good. Horse guided empowerment is like really helpful for that. Okay, and then there's something else. Not all of you have horses, but there is something else, and it's called heart math. And the heart math is a technique that can be used for a variety of topics. Usually it's used for calmness or to overcome stress. And there is a lot to it. It changes your physiology, your immune system, all of it. And it's about connecting to real, wanted, and renewing emotions together with a breathing technique, and therefore influencing your state of mind and your physiology. And we're going to do this right now. So think about a situation where you got it all together, where you're like, yay, I'm awesome, I rock. There is one of these situations in everybody's life. It doesn't matter if it was yesterday or 10 years ago, a situation where you felt in your flow, where you felt confident, where you felt you had something to say. It doesn't have to be related to your current job. It can be related to parenting, to cooking, to whatever it is, right? Find a situation in your life where you felt like, yeah, I got this. And you felt calm and confident and excited. Yes, and all of you are different, exactly. You all have your own dreams, and that's why it's so important that you find your own situation. It doesn't work if I give you my perfect situation. Find your own. You're all different. You know, some people feel this when they are, I don't know, swimming to the island in the lake. And they're like in their rhythm and in their flow, and everything is perfect, and the sun and the nature. If I use this, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm drowning. I can't make it back. It's so far away. It doesn't work for me. So, but maybe it works for you. Or maybe cooking for a lot of people. Sharif, yes. Give me a question.
Yes, I have a question about the fear.
Yes.
You said that you have to be confident and fix your fears before you start healing others and connecting with others. That means that someone with fear or worrying about the future or about the success of their project should stop and fix their fears, or they can work in parallel with fixing the fears.
That's a great question. Great question. Thank you so much. And that came across like you have to fix it first and stop and then keep doing it. That's not what I meant, because then I wouldn't be here. Right? So there is always fear. Oh God, like you have no idea. But you do stuff despite the fear. You just don't let yourself be paralyzed by the fear and know that you need to work on it. So for example, have a great example yesterday. Well, it started actually with 3 weeks ago, and I was in Dubai and I attended the Mind Valley event, which was awesome. And there is one of their speakers does this little hypnosis trick with you, and she also says, you know, imagine what you want and then do this tapping thing and say to yourself, I require for myself for this to happen. I'm like, I require for myself, you know, to speak to a big audience and be on stage and blah, blah, blah. what I wanted and spread the message that horses have the answer to the mental health crisis, and that's what I require for myself. Yeah, I came back home, and out of the blue, but like really out of the blue, I got contacted by the local Mind Valley community, and somebody who I had never talked to before said, Christina, there's a meetup in Mexico. Don't you want to speak? And I'm like, what? What? What do you mean? She's like, yeah, sure, you should totally speak. And this is so interesting. And just send us a proposal. I'm like, all right, I'll send a proposal. And then yesterday I had the interview with the coordinator. And I was like, I cannot do this. I really can't do this, but okay, I'll go and I'll speak and I'll talk to the guy. And it was really nice. And he said, yeah, wonderful. Now send us a detailed video proposal, and we're only selecting 8 to 10 speakers, but you know, this is awesome. I like your energy. I like your topic. Do this. And now I'm like, holy shit. Now you know, it's not going to be a gigantic stage, not 2,000 people, but about 200. And now I imagine myself being there. I'm like, no. This is not what I require. Like, this is not what I require for myself. But then it is, but I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Now, if I'm terrified that it might work out, it will not work out. But I do honestly want this. I have to grow into it. So I do want it, and I have to work on my fear, because if I submit a video where I'm terrified, you're not going to select me, right? So I have to believe that I'm capable of doing it, and I'm working on that. And heart math is great for that. So I'll do it too. Let's do it. Okay, so a moment where you, oh, thank you, Mariana. That's, you'll have to come. You'll all have to come, Mexico, 20th of May, please. So think about a situation where you got it, where you felt confident, where you were liked, appreciated, where you had something to say. And then you focus your attention on the area of the heart. You can close your eyes, but you don't have to. Something that you can do whenever you want to, in the car, in the supermarket. Focus your attention on the area of the heart. And breathe in and breathe out in a steady rhythm. You can inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds, or use any other rhythm that's comfortable for you. And you imagine that your breath is flowing in and out through your heart or chest area. And you breathe in the steady rhythm, and with every breath, you draw in that feeling of being confident, of being accepted. Bring back the situation in your life where you felt that way. Experience it. What was the environment? What did you hear? What did you see? What did you feel? What did you wear? Bring yourself back into that experience. Breathe. Imagine your breath is flowing in and out through your heart or chest area. Let's hold this for another minute. Re-experience that situation where you were successful, calm, but passionate, accepted. And from this place of coherence, ask yourself, ask your heart, what would a good next step be? Don't question it. Just let it come. If it doesn't come, it doesn't matter. What is one next step that you could do in your current situation? Okay. If you want to share that, that would be great. What we do with this technique, which is based on the breathing rhythm, based on connecting brain and heart, and then bringing in a renewing of positive emotion, we get to what is called heart coherence. And that has a lot of benefits, and it's not super easy in the beginning. So it's okay if you struggle with this, but you can practice. I will send you an audio to the WhatsApp group with an induction of this exercise so that you can practice it several times. The more you practice it, the more your brain will connect to this feeling, and then every time it's easier. So then you just think about, oh, that situation, the success situation, and you go there and you feel calm, passionate, excited, accepted. I have something to say. This is going to work. And that is all you need. It doesn't matter to analyze in this moment all the 1,000 steps that you need or everything that could go wrong. Just focus on it is possible. It's possible. All of us have had one of these situations. So it is possible. You can have that. And then you connect it to your mission. And if you stay in this confidence zone, you induce it, then you'll get there. Okay, so Carmen, you can, well, there's going to be a couple of minutes left if you want to watch the recording, and then I'll see you tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll talk about the clients. We'll talk about showing up in the right way to give your clients what they really need, which is different from what you think they need. And you practice and you go through the workbook and analyze your soul business. And if it has something to do with horses, please reach out to me because I have a solution for that. And yes, Sharif, please ask your question. Of course.
Thank you. The exercise or the meditation you just showed right now is amazing. But I'm just imagining if you are faced in a situation with a client who acted in a way that is so negative towards you or criticizing you, for example, how you would bring back the balance or how you would act. If you lost confidence, it would be a disaster, you know. I just wonder how you act in that situation and if you had ever faced such a situation before.
Yeah, so the beauty about heart math is that you don't have to like go into the meditation position and close your eyes and do it for half an hour. You can keep your eyes open, and as you practice it, it will get easier. So you can actually do it, like for example, a calmness exercise. I do that in the car. I do that in the supermarket when I'm about to blow up with so many people and so much stimulation. So I'm like, calmness, I think about my horses, about my pasture, and then I can continue. If you are faced with a client and you go into this calmness and confidence coherence zone, you will actually influence your client. They are also able to influence you. So you need to be strong on your own coherence. And that is easier when you have practiced it. So in that situation, it's really important to stay calm. I believe that all of our services, they're all great. There's a lot of amazing services. I know a lot of you. but they are not for everybody. So it has to be okay if there's a client who says, not working for me. Like, thank you, or maybe not even thank you. This is not what I wanted. This doesn't serve me. And it has to be okay. It's not a criticism of you as a person. It is a bad combination. If it's your ideal client, you need to review your ideal client, of course. But if it's a bad combination, it has to be okay to say, all right, that's fine. It doesn't have to be for everybody. And then you have a policy of, you know, if they already had the session, for example, I don't give money back. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry it didn't serve you. Good luck in your life. You know, I'm not offended. If it's a course, I have a money back guarantee. Like if you really don't like it after the first 2 classes, you know, it's better we separate. It's fine. No hurt feelings. So have a policy about that, and don't be offended on a personal level. It's okay if people don't like what you're doing. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work for anybody else, right? It's just one combination. But staying calm from your side is really important. It's really important. And you never know. Like I've had a situation like that recently in Dubai. I had to give a trial session. You know, when we do word finding issues. When we do a collaboration with somebody, usually they want like a complimentary trial session. So it's like, yeah, I want to experience it. What is this like? And then we'll talk. And in Dubai, we were trying to find funding for social sessions. We wanted to have a collaboration with somebody who does retreats and has an agency and can bring this program forward. So this person said, yeah, you know, but you know, I'm in the healing business for 40 years. So I have done everything and I know everything. So this can't be new. I'm like, oh, wow, offended. But yeah, okay. So she said, what you have to offer is not going to bring me any new benefit. And then she said, but there is one topic that I haven't been able to solve, which is my sleep issue. And I can't really sleep for many years. And that's what I'm going to work on in the session. I'm like, brilliant. So she doesn't believe in this. And she gives me an impossible topic to solve because sleep issues solving in one session is like, no, doesn't work. It's a physical problem that can't fix it that way. And then she brought a bunch of friends. We're all hanging out and we're like, yeah, we're so excited. Can we watch? And how long is this going to take? And, you know, we have to be at our lunch date in like 60 minutes. I'm like, all right. So she doesn't believe in it. She gives me an impossible topic. She adds distraction and she doesn't have time for it. So yay. And then I went into, it doesn't matter. I don't have to fix it. I told her this is hard. It's a hard topic, but I'll show you what this is about and you can experience it. And then, you know, we can go from there. So let's just go inside and experience the horses and see how that goes for you. But I managed miraculously to stay open, like to not close myself to it's going to go this way or it's going to go bad. I stayed open. Yeah. Yeah, in the beginning she did. But then she did open up. The horses did their magic and I was staying open and it turned into a different session. It was not so much about the sleep problem. The sleep problem is just a symptom of something else, of something deeper, bigger, traumatic. And we went there and we did actually fix it. So she wrote to me the next day, she said, this was brilliant. This was life-changing. I am sleeping. I've slept 8 hours. I never did that. And she wrote to me yesterday and said, I'm still sleeping. I can't believe it, but this is amazing. But I think it was only possible because I was able to like get rid of the you superior, huh? I'm not doing this with you. But I said, okay, here we are. The horses are waiting for us. Let's just give it a try. So if you can stay open, and then, I'm not saying what I'm going to say tomorrow. You have to come. We're going to talk about this client attitude and what you can add in as an ingredient that will change the outcome of your service. And then on the third day, we're talking about the toolkit and what is maybe missing to get there, right? So what Ali said, packaging structures and these kind of things. Yes, I've been to another one. Yes, that's
Maybe
that's
we
very
can
place.
talk about that tomorrow.
Yes, we can. Yes. Yes. So that's a retreat hotel in not in Dubai, in another emirate, and they are interested in bringing horse-guided empowerment to their clients. That was also a good moment, as you mentioned it, because they have a lot of artificial grass. And then, I'm like the country girl, pasture, nature, and they bring me there and they're like retreat hotel and horses and herds. And I'm like, artificial grass. What is that? But there's a reason to it. And they explained it, and it has to do with sustainability, actually. It's in a climate where having grass is a little hard. So it is a way of being more sustainable, actually. And then there's also sand paddocks, which is nice. All right, so 90 minutes are almost over. I will take more questions, and please, let's do this. Let's start to show up. Let's communicate the mindset right on the Instagram account, and maybe I'll open the WhatsApp group also for your messages. Write somewhere what you are setting for yourself as a goal. Okay. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Be specific and make it exciting. Make it in a way that you're like, wow, if this would happen, yay, right? And then we go from there. Okay, but please show up, do this. If you keep it in your drawer, then you're not changing anything. So do something that the others also can see. Be motivated by their insights and their goals. And then we can take it from there. Okay, my internet just glitched. I hope you heard me anyway. Okay, all right. So find the workbook and the audio, share what you have learned, work on it. And then tomorrow we'll do the second part of it. And it does actually work. I don't have an angel investor. I didn't inherit $1 million, and this is just my hobby. I am the sole provider for my family. I have to make it work, and it does. It does work, but it requires some muscle, brain muscle, and soul muscle. So do the heart math. The workbook I'll share in the WhatsApp group. I think that's the easiest way. I'll share a link. No, I think I'll share it there. Yes, in the WhatsApp group. Is everybody in the WhatsApp group? Yes? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here, for doing this. As I said, it's also good for me because this can be a new confidence moment for me. People liking what I'm saying, being inspired. Awesome. I'll use this when I record my proposal for Mindvalley. And I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we continue. So stay tuned, do the homework, and have a nice evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.